Hi there. Chances are good if you're seeing this video that we probably already know each other given my history with Front Row, but just in case that's not the case, my name's Andrew Smallwood, and this is my application video for the event director and fundraising support position. I'm gonna dive right into the questions and get them answered. Number one, why is this a good fit? I feel Front Row is a great fit for me simply because Front Row is in my blood. I've loved this organization for just over 7 years now, been involved on the board and been looking to increase my involvement continually, both from that point to now and this point moving forward. In fact, I approached John Vroman about getting more involved with Front Row even before this position became available, and it seems that the timing has just dovetailed pretty well. And this is a position I feel I can be successful in, and that I can crush this and play a leadership role for Front Row. That's why I think Front Row is a great fit for me. And I'm looking to get more experience in nonprofit leadership and management, and that it's in Front Row is all the better, makes it even more of a long-term option for me. Why I feel I would be a great fit for Front Row compared to other applicants that might be out there, I feel one of the biggest strengths I can offer is leadership. As opposed to coming into this position and looking for security, I'm coming into this position and looking to grow an organization that I love and do it with people that I love and trust and know and care about, and have a lot of fun doing a lot of meaningful work. And I can promise passion, I can promise leadership, I can promise capacity to multitask and do a few different roles at one time, given my history, which I'll let my resume speak for itself as far as that's concerned. On to the second question, what would my dream Front Row event be? I've actually got my dream journal right here, which I'd like to use to assist me in answering this question. But one of them, actually, number 19, you'll see here, is to coordinate a Front Row event. And I've already got the t-shirt, so I can save you or the polo, I can save you the money there in the polo. But the two events I would pick would be, number one, for a music event, going to a Derek Trucks band concert. He's my absolute favorite guitar player. I've seen him a couple times in college, traveled over an hour to go see this concert, but I was far from the front row, and there's nothing quite like being up front. So seeing him front row would absolutely be a dream come true for me. And I can already feel the tingle in my spine just thinking about him hitting those solos, from up front. The other event I would probably highlight would be to attend a Final Four. And God bless America if the Vanderbilt Commodores could find a way to be there as well and see my favorite team. But I just love college basketball. I love watching great college basketball, whether it's my team or not. And that is an event that I definitely look forward to getting to at some point. So question number 3, what's an experience I've helped create for a friend or family member? And I'd like to highlight an event from this past December, which was my dad's birthday. And I was in charge of basically the logistics of making this happen. So we got my mom, one of my dad's brothers from Orlando to fly up. So it was the 4 of us, and my mom took care of the hotel reservation. And what I was responsible for, what I did and what we did on that trip was we got 2 very exclusive restaurant reservations, one at Alinea and one at Grace. Both are 3-star Michelin restaurants. And I was trying to find ways to make it special for him. And so we got his name on the menu. We got a private tour of the kitchen, which is almost unheard of at a restaurant like this, for them to take time to do that. The restaurant reservations themselves are very difficult to get and must be done very far in advance. So that was fun to pull that off. And also a little bit of research going into finding the best view of the city at the top of the Hancock building. And we had some cocktails after dinner up there. And you'll see one of my photos in the photo album submission being from that trip. So what went well? It was amazing, truly Front Row spirit, do everything the very best it can be done, and just making it special, and doing it with people surrounded by people he loved. So that was exciting. What would make it better for me? I would say stay an extra day, do more of the same. I would probably ask him what we could have done to even make him feel more special, and make it even more of a Front Row kind of experience. Maybe the only other thought I have on how to make it better would be, it was a bit of sensory overload to do one 3-star restaurant right after the other. That maybe that's just my lack of how special that was for me. but that high sensory experience, it was almost overload to do 2 dinners like that within 24 hours of each other. So I look forward to doing an experience like that again. Number 4, personal challenge that I've overcome. I would speak to, I was diagnosed with diabetes back in August of 2012. So that's my first real health challenge other than some minor surgeries and things like that. First real health scare. I've been in the hospital a few times as a result of that, as I'm learning how to better manage it. So it's an ongoing challenge, some ways that I've overcome it, and I'm actually in the best shape of my life right now. I've committed to 2 different diet improvements. One, when I was initially diagnosed, made a major change in diet, and a few months ago in January, late January, made another commitment to new diet and exercise routine, and I'm seeing fantastic results from that in my daily energy level and just how I feel compared to when I was diagnosed. So that's big. What's challenging me most right now, while diabetes is ongoing, I would say actually my biggest challenge right now is making my first career change in 8 years. I'm very fortunate, very much a first world challenge or problem to be going from one great company and multiple positions I've been able to advance through that I've loved and people that I work with to finding my next opportunity where I'll have many of the same things that I've loved about that experience and more of what I'm looking for. So final question, number 5, large project that I saw through. I'll reference my work experience of growing sales over 53%. From one summer sales campaign to the following summer sales campaign. And part of that was the work that was done in the summer, but much of it was done in the 8 months previous. So I was putting in about 20 to 25 hours per week to attract, retain, and develop an assistant manager staff, which ended up being 10 people, which was our largest staff ever in largest sense. So we did an excellent job. I guess I can give myself some credit since I was responsible for that. So I had weekly one-on-one calls with them to build that relationship and train and develop them over the course of that 8 months, which did on good faith that it would pay off the following summer, and it did. Another thing was a 60-page business plan, which I was fully responsible for, both in creating and executing, and program development and improvement. We increased our efficiency and obviously effectiveness to grow again over 53% in sales and set a record over $957,000 in volume, about $300,000 in growth over the previous summer. So that's one of my proudest accomplishments over a long period of time, and I did that as a full-time college student. So it was a time where I really committed 100%. I wasn't just settling for what was normal around me or just kind of going with the flow. I really had a vision for what was going to happen 12 months later and really dedicated and applied myself to see it to fruition. And what I learned from that is the power of 100% committing to something and the magic that can happen, the magic I'm able to help contribute and make happen, and especially as a part of a team and inspiring people around me with that example. So I've been able to do it a few times since then, but that was really the first time and a truly transformational experience for me, one I'll always be grateful for. So thank you for the time in considering my video and considering my answers. And look forward to seeing all of you on the other side of this camera at one point or another, or at one role or another. And thank you again so much for your consideration.